is optimal. Oregon rushes for 171 yards per game. Nationally best rushing team nationally.
What if I were
State.
What if I were to tell you that Penn State's long run by their starting running back Nick Singleton was 18 yards this year?
I'd be more
since week
impressed
2
that they averaged for 195 yards rushing a game.
Yeah, since week 2, their long run is 18 yards.
Oregon allows 112 rushing yards per game. Penn State allows 97. That's 5th in the Big Ten.
Uh-oh.
Oddly enough, that is 7th nationally.
Oh.
I see why Cole started to started to tell Wimp why you liked a certain side here, making more sense.
And if that didn't make sense to you, Indiana 1st nationally, Michigan 3rd nationally, UCLA 5th nationally. That's one nobody had. Penn State 7th. Penn State. +7.
Oh, boy.
Penn State, 59 flags, 532 yards. Oregon, 68 flags, 543 yards. Advantage Penn State.
Oh, boy.
Now, Penn State.
By a margin of +38.
47% on third down for Penn State. That's 3rd in the Big Ten.
Okay. Well,
Oregon's 1st in the Big Ten. 49.6% of their third downs are converted.
Take that.
All right, Oregon.
Get some.
That is 7th nationally.
You like that, baby?
Penn State allows opponents to convert 34% of the time on third down. Oregon, 32%. That's advantage Oregon. By a margin of +2, the Rubik's Cube look likes. Let me double check. Penn State +2 to win the Big Ten championship game.
Wow.
Build James Franklin a statue.
Might as well.
Y'all got to look at the TV for a second. I don't even know what's
I've already seen
here.
this.
The
Cousin Eddie's actually pretty good.
Yeah, this is pretty.
But what are we doing here? Is this Halloween? Is this?
Yeah, it's Christmas at Miller Farms.
Sure one. What was it?
No, that wasn't.
Wasn't
Okay. Adriatics.
That was it. Yeah.
Homewood Christmas, also known as Homewood Christmas.
Yep. Finally, the SEC Southeastern Conference Championship game.
Let's go.
Who's playing?
Georgia, Texas. Saber, plug it in.
Rubik's Cubic.
Rubik's
Cubic. Rubik's Cubic.
All done.
Game's in Atlanta.
That must be
The game is in Atlanta.
That was such a long
Neutral site.
That was such a long pullout. It must have been like
I feel like that.
it must have been illegal.
It's been a long time since the Rubik's Cubic had no Bama, no Auburn in the SEC championship game.
Is that true?
A couple years.
Well, like
Just 2.
19.
Did I say 2023?
Yeah, that one too.
2022? 2022.
Couple years.
LSU.
Georgia. Yeah.
Couple years. Just not used to it. It's not normal. Texas runs for 176 a game. Georgia runs for 128 a game. Georgia's 15th best rushing team in the SEC.
Oh, boy.
Don't need it.
Georgia allows 136 a game on the ground.
Whoa.
Texas, 103.5 yards rushing a game allowed per game. That's 3rd in the SEC.
For those
Advantage
for those keeping score, it's 136 for Georgia for the season, 176 in the last 5 games.
Plug that in real quick. I'll tell the rheumatologist to get on that.
The what?
You heard me.
What do they study? Rheumatology?
Rube Cube.
Rube Cubologist.
Texas is +7 in the turnovers.
That's good.
Georgia is even.
Oh, mama.
Oh, boy.
Bye.
Almost a double up.
Dead.
Georgia might not need to get off the bus.
Shouldn't.
Now, you guys tell me where to go with this one because the botanist said that this is up for grabs. 74 flags, 604 yards for Texas. 70 flags, 668 for Georgia. Push. Push that.
That feels like a push.
Yeah, it feels like salt and pepper.
Yeah.
45% on third down for Texas, 42% for Georgia.
Advantage Horns.
Georgia allows opponents to convert on 33% of their third downs. Texas allows opponents to convert on 30% of their third downs. Advantage Horns again. By a margin of plus 2.5, the Rubik's Cubic selects
Ooh.
Texas to win the SEC championship game.
Why should Georgia even show
They
up?
shouldn't.
I don't think they should.
Little old Georgia.
They didn't account for the head-to-head matchup earlier.
So, recapping Rubik's Cubic, Texas plus 2.5, Penn State plus 2, Clemson plus 1, Arizona State plus 2. That is your Rubik's Cubic for the week.
What about the MAC championship?
Nobody thought you wanted to run it.
Oh.
I mean, I can ask them to
Miami,
plug it in.
Ohio, in basically every category.
Give them to plug it in a little bit later.
Miami, Ohio, hammer.
For the second time today, something you don't know. Rheumatologist, doctor who specializes in diagnosing and treating conditions that affect the joints, muscles, bones, tendons, and ligaments. You're welcome.
Man, I was
Rhodes
so
Scholar
I was
finalist.
so worried about that one.
Not a Roomba. Okay. That's all right.
Mm.
Didn't know there was a rheumatologist. Didn't know homes could be moved.
The-
0 for
one,
2. 0 for
didn't
2.
care.
0 for 2.
Really
0
didn't
for 2.
care.
Hates Will
You're
Smith.
going to care about a rheumatologist in about 10 years. Trust me.
What's that supposed to mean?
That broken wrist you had at the combine is going to start
He'll
hurting.
come back. Ah,
I'm getting old.
ball injury.
No, I'm tough. I'm not like y'all. I need to go take care of myself. I need the inversion table.
You like a Gundy brisket tough.
I need
Game
to
day
really
men's health.
I really need to start stretching.
I really do. But I haven't gotten to that yet.
Getting a little
I
tight.
need that. Yeah. I need a lot more stretching in my life. and I
These
do not do a good job
20,000
of it.
steps are taking their toll.
They are. They have. It's not easy.
I got to start
tough.
eating better, but
Tough
the
in the street.
pizza's just too good.
Haven't had pizza in a while.
Okay, a week.
No, it's been a lot longer than that. I mean, I'm ready for some, but
I'm about to smoke some pizza once I get through the season.
just go.
I'm about
So
to rip.
February 11th.
I'm about to say, see you Super Bowl
3 more
Sunday though.
months.
Super Bowl Sunday is
3
about
more
to
months.
rip.
There you go. All right, so that is the Rubik's Cubic for the week. We'll have a couple more thoughts on that and talk to Jason Caldwell about Auburn signing day after this on Mac and Cube in the morning. Tuesday, December 5th, 9:37, Jocks 94.5. Going to talk Auburn recruiting with Jason Caldwell here in just a moment. Before we do that, G-Mac, tell our listeners about B-Dry.
B-Dry has been serving Alabama and customers in this community for more than 60 years. It's amazing just how good B-Dry's been when it comes to waterproofing your crawl space, fixing your foundation. They can stop all 5 ways that water can enter your foundation. So know it'll get taken care of if you trust the pros at B-Dry. Call them today for an assessment. Get them to come out. They'll back it up with the life of the structure warranty, and they're going to go the extra mile to make sure it's the best possible price as well. 0 payments and 0 interest for 12 months. So you get the job done, still have some cash on hand for the first of the year. So call them today at 942-1976 or visit bdryalabama.com.
All right, Jason Caldwell of Inside the Auburn Tigers magazine joining us now on the Buyers Right hotline to talk Auburn signing day. Were you aware of this negative recruiting that Coach Freeze is talking about, that he seemed a little concerned about, that you mentioned yesterday?
Honestly, we had heard sometime during the year that I don't know where it came from, but somebody's like us that they'd heard that he was sick and that that he might be done or something like that. And yes, honestly, I'd heard a little bit of it, and it's funny because I talked to some people like, hey, he looks really tired and unhappy, and I went, well, if he was smiling right now, then y'all would be really bad because if you're happy with the season they had with so many frustrating losses, then you're probably going to be in the wrong spot anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I heard a little bit of it, but it wasn't a ton. But I'm sure nowadays you hear pretty much everything. I'm sure from all over the place.
No doubt about it, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. What do you make of how they handled recruiting this year? What do you think of the in-state haul that they were able to bring in?
Yeah, I think it's when Hugh Freeze got hired, one of the first things he talked about was, look, we got to do a better job of recruiting the state of Alabama, and there's no question about it. The previous coaching staff just flat out dropped the ball in many areas, and that was one of them. And this state is good enough now that you can win recruiting the state of Alabama. You still have to cherry pick some different spots, but it's not Georgia and Florida and Texas yet, but your top 25 in the state of Alabama are competitive with those other states now. And you start looking at going, hey, get your fair share of those guys. And I think too, in this transfer portal world, the more guys you have from closer to home, the better chance you have of keeping guys on campus for 3 or 4 years. And so I think it was a really good class in the state of Alabama, heavy defensive line group. And as we saw this year, you have guys and dudes up front that can make plays without having to blitz a bunch. And boy, it's a game changer for not only a defense, but for a team. And I thought they did a really good job up front on defense.
Jason Caldwell, Inside the Auburn Tigers magazine, joining us now on the Buyers Right hotline. When you think about this class, is there one player that you felt like was a had-to-have, must-have to make it a satisfactory class?
Yeah, even though I don't know that Deuce Knight's the guy that you're counting on to play next year in this world of transfer quarterback times and being able to get experienced guys. But a quarterback is so important in a class when you think about keeping him and kind of retaining him. That's the guy that's really important from a player perspective. There's a bunch of guys I think that immediate impact when I think about guys that are going to come in and have a chance to play. But when you look at maybe the most important part, it usually revolves around the quarterback and getting that guy in your class. And I thought that was big to kind of hold off Ole Miss there at the end.
What do you make of some of the other positions of need? The defense in particular, a couple spots filled there, and kind of rounding out. And there's going to be some opportunities to get on the field next year. I mean, a lot of guys departing, so it feels like some of these guys might have to play early. How do you feel about the defensive haul?
Yeah, I think you look, and we saw this year that I think most of the best players they had on the defensive side of the ball were the young guys. I mean, going to sophomore with Keldrick, and Malik Lockton was probably the best interior defensive lineman they had this season in terms of making plays. But Caleb Harris back there and Sylvester Smith, Jay Crawford, I mean, like the young guys really produce. And, yeah, you're going to have more of those guys out of this class. I mentioned interior defensive line because I think that's the spot where you look at it and go, man, you don't want to have to count on a bunch of those guys, but I think they got some guys that are going to help them right away. You'll have to probably plug in a portal guy to help give them some experience. But think about there, and then the back end, I mean, you look and Donovan Starr is a guy that I think Blake would be at corner. Those are places you can play, but for the two safeties they signed. Anquan Pagans I saw last night again at Thompson here in Birmingham, and he's just a ball hawk. And then Eric Winters is a big physical guy that's really athletic. I think you got some guys in the secondary to supplement those young guys that were talented this year. I think you look at it, and I think that's going to be a group that's going to look like a bunch of guys that have a chance to play on the next level, if they continue to produce.
Jason Caldwell joining us talking Auburn signing day. Was there one that you felt like needed to happen that didn't, that kind of got away? I know there's one or two that are still out there that could still even change this class even more.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you look at it, and obviously probably look at a guy like Andrew Babalola that Auburn really pushed for hard, the offensive tackle that wound up signing with Michigan. That's probably the one. Tavares Dice was a guy that Florida flipped kind of late in the process from Auburn. I think Dice probably winds up more as an interior guy. But you think about just in terms of development, trying to sign a bunch of offensive linemen is always a good deal. They signed 4, and they've done a much better job than Auburn had done in a long time of signing the offensive linemen. So I think they did a pretty solid job there. But probably a guy like Andrew Babalola, just because you look at him as such a physical freak, even though you're probably not counting on that guy in year one.
What do you make of just what you think they're going to do at the portal at quarterback? I get the sense that it's likely going to be a high priority for the staff. They wanted to go young and surround Peyton Thorne with good personnel last year. They're able to accomplish that goal. Now it's about really bringing in the quarterback that can really help them win right now with the experience they gained this past season. So how confident are you that they'll be able to land a big fish in the portal at quarterback?
I think this will be an attractive group when you look at Cam Coleman and Malcolm Simmons and those guys. I think it's going to be an attractive spot for a quarterback, and I think and been told, look, they're going to go out and go get the best guy available. Now, whether or not you can get him remains a story, but I don't think it's because you don't have the resources to go get him. I think Auburn is going to absolutely go after a guy, and if they target a guy as the number one guy in the portal, I don't think they're going to back off because the price tag's too much. I think you're right. I think they've gotten the pieces in place, and now you go out and try to find a guy that can take you to the next step or two in a season. And it's going to be really interesting to see. We've seen a few guys trickle in already, and it's hard to figure out though, because a guy like Jackson Arnold, you look at him and go, man, that guy has all the tools, had no receivers to throw this to. How do you judge a guy like that? Does a guy like Haynes King go in? You look at it, there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of possibilities, and next week's going to be wild.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And when you look at outside of quarterback, what would be at the top of Auburn's priority list to bring in through the portal?
Yeah, I think offensive tackle is going to be the next one. I think, can you go out and find a true left tackle to come in? That again, they got some pieces in place. I think Jeremiah Wright probably will be back at offensive guard. You got Connor Lew at center. So you got some pieces in place, and whether or not Dylan Wade returns, you'll have, I think, some guys. They feel really good about DeAndre Carter, was a true freshman this year, offensive lineman, to step in and push for playing time at guard next year. Tyler Johnson's the guy that could potentially be a starter at right tackle. But I think at least one offensive tackle that you feel like has a chance to come in and be a day one starter. They tried that last year. They weren't able to get those guys, had to settle for a guy, and it didn't work out for them. I don't think you're going to see them settle for a guy this year. I think, much like quarterback, they're going to go out and try to find an elite offensive tackle to kind of step in right away.
Absolutely. Jason, great stuff as always. You're at the Super 7. What do you have your eyes on? What are you looking forward to seeing there this weekend?
Yeah, obviously a good one last night, a really talented group. I think you look at it tonight, Moody. That Moody Montgomery Catholic game will have some players. Dozier, is a young junior wide receiver at Moody. It's a really talented guy. Tomorrow will be a fun day. Today, there's Wadley today, 1A. Jaquez Wilkes is a 6'4", 225-pound junior running back, linebacker, edge rusher in 1A football. It'll be fun to watch. But then tomorrow, Jackson at 4A team is a loaded roster when you look at those guys. Landon Duckworth, the 26 quarterback's about 6'4", 210 pounds. It can run and can sling it. A sophomore running back's one of the best in the country. And that 6A game is is a bunch of maulers up front. That's going to be a lot of fun with Antonio Coleman on one side and Jordan Crawford on the other, and a bunch of talented guys around them. So should be a good fitting in to the week tomorrow night for that 6A game.
Jason, great stuff, man. Appreciate the time. Look forward to catching up soon. Have fun this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go. Jason Caldwell covers the Auburn Tigers inside the Auburn Tigers and does a great job giving us some updates on National Signing Day. When we come back, bad box scores of the day. Next, Mac and Cube in the morning. All right, let's get it right into the bad box scores of the day. 9:51 a.m. Thursday, December 5th, right here on Jocks 94.5. We bring it to you each and every day. It is
Soldotna.
celebrating the best of the worst. Not today.
No, they're champions.
Stars.
They're already champions.
We'll go to women's Division III junior college basketball.
How do you even come up with that?
Well, I'm good at my job, regardless of what a large number of certain members of one local fan base said to us yesterday. The University of Connecticut at Avery Point.
They're not the Huskies. They're the Bulldogs.
They're not.
Okay.
The chowder.
You're on the right track. No.
Chowda.
No.
Let's go Catfish.
They're the Pointers.
Okay.
They took on the Holyoke Community College.
We've had them before.
We have?
Owls.
No.
No. The Timberwolves.
No.
Sycamore.
Cougars.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And the University of Connecticut Avery Point pointers pointed the Cougars out of the gym by knocking them down 95-31.
There you go.
Your score by quarter 29-6, 22-12, 23-4, and 21-9. UConn shot 41 of 85.
They're just hot.
7 of 20 from behind the 3-point line. They out-rebounded Holyoke 44-26. Holyoke shot 38 times. They made 12.
12.
They only got 38 shots in a full game.
And they shot a 3.
8-3.
Missed it.
Over one's not bad.
It's not. 1 is bad.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
I've been told.
Are they the triple option offense of women's junior college basketball? And they're
Could
just
be.
like running the post
Slowing the game
nonstop.
down.
Could be.
Inside out. Inside out.
That make the other team the Pointer Sisters?
They turned it over 33 times.
Oof.
Oh, okay. That's where they got them.
Limited the turnovers to 33. Would you like a bad box score of the day all-timer?
We got an all-timer. Let's go.
We'll let Greg decide if it's an all-timer or not. But the Rowan College,
They're all timers.
not all, some separate themselves, like I believe this one will.
Oh boy.
The Rowan College of South Jersey, Cumberland.
They're the Reigns.
No.
South Jersey, Cumberland.
Rowan College of South Jersey Cumberland.
RCJC.
They're the Raiders.
Star
They're
Wars.
not.
I'm gonna say the Shores.
Think royalty.
The Kings.
No.
Buick GMC.
No.
Taos?
The Jokers.
They're the Dukes.
The
The
Dukes.
Dukes.
It was the Dukes.
They
Hmm.
knocked off the Montgomery County Community College of Pennsylvania.
Mennonites.
No.
No.
They are the Montco,
The what?
Montgomery County Community College of
no.
Pennsylvania.
They are the
Munchkins.
No, they're the Monarchs.
They're the Mustangs.
Oh,
Ooh,
I was
good
getting
one.
there.
I was there.
The Mustangs ran the Dukes out of the gym 72-18.
Not tight.
Your score is 38-9 at the half.
Not bad.
Not one single quarter did Rowan College of South Jersey, Cumberland score in double figures.
I've been trying to tell you it wasn't that bad.
Rowan College, 7 of 39 from the floor,
That's terrible.
and they
Horrible.
decided to do us one better than the previous game. What the Cougs did, they didn't shoot a 3.
The entire game.
Show them.
Not a 1. 4 of 8 from the free throw line.
Ooh.
Okay.
7 of 39 had 8 offensive rebounds. They were out rebounded 41-18.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Got
Now,
him.
they did limit the turnovers to 16.
So they were just missing shots. That happens every
What?
now and then.
You could say that, or you could say just not even taking shots.
Shoot less, score less.
Shoot less chance of ending up in bad box score of the day.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take you to men's hoops now. I need to go pull this team's schedule because this is, I believe, their 3rd appearance in bad box score of the day.
Love that.
The Lindenwood
Lions.
knocked off the East West
The
University.
Eagles.
No,
Southerners.
we've
No.
had them. They're the Phantoms.
Mm.
Lindenwood knocked them off 102-45. It was 47-14 at the half. 14 points in a half.
That's
East
it.
West shot 19 of 69.
Oh boy.
That's 27% for the game. Now they did shoot 21 threes.
How many did they make?
2. I don't know why you had to ask like that.
Why does it matter?
They only turned it over 22 times. 5 of 11 from the free throw line. Lindenwood shot 36 of 64, 12 of 28 from 3, 18 of 25 from the free throw line. Your rebounding differential was 46-26. So,
All right.
yeah.
Double up. Near.
76-18. All-timer, yes or no?
Yeah, that's a pretty bad one.
Yeah, I figured it would
You don't
be.
just walk into Montco and get a win.
Or move the house.
Mustangs don't allow that. 3-man fronts.
Or
next.
East West.